Something exciting has arrived in Dublin, combining 80 years of service excellence with 120 years of German engineering. Linder's Opel, the new name for Opel in Finglas and Turvey. Call in and meet our expert sales and service teams. Find your perfect 191 Opel and choose your perfect offer. With 0% PCP and HP finance, a guaranteed minimum of €3,000 scrappage or 3 years free servicing. Visit lindersopel.ie for details or drop into us at Finglas and Turvey. Linder's Opel, now open. Terms and conditions apply.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. We are tuning in live from the Nifty 90s, the stylish edition. This is Brittanee, your host. I hope everybody's having a great day today. Earlier today, the weather started off really, really strange, and now everything seems to have calmed down since then. I'm actually trying to schedule a birthday trip, and the part of the country that I'm going to is actually under a fog advisory. It's not too far from here, so I hope that did not, affect anybody, because I don't have listeners in other parts of the country. Now, this is going to be a different, radio show for us today. Usually, I get on here and I encourage people and give you all tips on faith and things like that. But being that this is a fashion radio show, what would be a better way to get, into the spirit of, different colors and trends than to start off with a spring fashion segment. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to do a little bit of a different promotion method in the next couple of days and weeks to work with the numbers, but I do thank you all. If you did have a chance, if you listen to this after, if you've had a chance to like my page, I do appreciate that. I'm going to start doing, the likes, shares, and all that kind of stuff at a later date, but right now I'm really focusing more on the content. But as the days go by, you will be seeing, different innovative ways I'm going to be pushing my radio show. So let's get started. It's Wednesday. I've actually had a long week, so usually I'm a little bit more high energy. I'm going to kind of level it down today to kind of keep things at a pace. And also, before I get into the trends, which are quite interesting, here's the thing with this radio show. In the next couple of weeks, the direction of the show actually going in a totally different direction than I had planned. I have a lot of people who actually want to, who are going to be interviewed. So because they will be bringing in fresh people to, get involved with the show, my birthday week is actually in 2 weeks. So what I'm going to probably end up doing is we're going to do 2 more shows, in my format, be it spring or another topic that spring fashion or another topic that I determine next week. And then after I get back from my trip, I'm going to set up a bunch of interviews for the next couple of weeks. And that's going to take a couple of weeks to get there, because a lot of people I set up and then I got busy and everything just went a whole other direction with the holiday. And the other thing is, I know I'm going into my time. I actually have been feeling well. So this is like the first day I've actually been on the phone for a long period of time, because I've actually been in my bed for the last 3 or 4 days getting over a bunch of situations. But now I'm back to rolling and back to where I need to be. I'm actually looking at, they're different. I realize if you're listening to this with Blog Talk Radio, there's so many different ways that I could actually promote this show. I'm going to go ahead and, make a note of that as well. So let's get started, and I'm also on different other websites. I'm going to start, posting that too, because I want you all to listen. I mean, there's so much going on in our nation, in our economy, and it's not very positive. So with a couple minutes to spare, my main focus and goal for this radio show is to bring a positive outlet to the radio airwaves. There's a lot of negative energy, a lot of tension going on, depending on what part of the country you're in and what kind of a lifestyle you live. So I want to bring a lighter effect to the radio, because you can go to anybody's radio show and you'll feel the tension and the sadness. So I'm trying to give y'all something else positive and fresh to think about. So what we're going to do today, of course, the topic is Spring Fashion 2019. And as everybody knows, you don't have to ask me. If you know me personally, if you look over my page, I love fashion and I love clothes. So again, what better way to bring a different spin to the radio show than to talk about something I love, and that's clothes. So we're going to discuss a couple of things. Actually, there are so many trends. Here's my thing. I don't keep up with trends because I have a degree in fashion, but there are certain things that keep repeating themselves. So with less than 25 minutes to spare, I'm going to try to cram in. There are so many trends. This might carry over until next week, but I'm going to these are trends. There's a difference between a trend and a style and something that will last forever. So what I'm going to do first is name all of the, trends that are coming into spring 2019 that I feel that I read through a couple, but these are the ones that, will probably be more heavily discussed. And what I'm going to do is, as I discuss them, I'm going to tell you what I believe is going to be a trend and what I feel will kind of, last more and, as the days and times go by. And there are a couple of these items that I personally, own or I personally love myself. So what we'll probably end up doing is I have other people that I'll be interviewing, and I'm actually going to name these, which is going to be really, really interesting. I'm going to name these same trends, and I'm going to ask their opinions on what they feel, and then I'm also going to have them add their ideas of what trends they think will be, what they predict. And then there's another thing most people don't realize. There's something called trend forecasting, which what we do with my degree, we literally forecast like a weather forecaster. We can forecast what a trend is before you wear it. Most people don't realize that fashion is psychological. I know this is the part that you all want to hear, so I try to not show my 4-year bachelor's degree in fashion. It's all mental, borderline psychology. I don't want to throw people off, but it's a lot in the mind and a lot mentally involved with putting on an item of clothing. It's not about, everybody has their own way, but, there's certain trends, but then there's a color thought. There's like a totally different process that most people don't realize. So let's get into what the general public, and even I wear some of these items too, would feel would fall into the category of trends. So as we head into spring fashion 2019, you're going to have a lot of people say, well, why are these even trends? But here's the thing, and someone literally asked me this on Instagram. I made a post, and I put a checklist, which I have to start again. I got busy. So a couple weeks ago, I will actually repost this, but people literally had questions because I told them the checklist, some type of checklist. I forgot what the type of checklist it was for fashion. They said, oh, that can't be fashion. I'm like, well, here's the thing. People forget that fashion is an art form. So when you're putting on clothes, I know some people just slip something on to be cute or and I've done it myself to impress a man, or if you're a male on here, impress a female. But fashion is really an art form. And a lot of people use fashion to express themselves, express their lifestyles. So when people wear things, which I'm going to discuss in a little while, like plastic bags, it's not because they can't find anything in their closet. It's because they are tired of doing the norm. They're trying to make a statement. Some people, I don't know if I hate using tag words. A lot of people are eco-friendly, into the earth. As we go, as a lot of people I'm hearing are going to the vegan lifestyle, this kind of fits with people going back to natural, into planet Earth. And not to be too nerdy, because I read too much, but, our world under our feet is in a lot of turmoil. And which I may do next week too, we may have a discussion about the water crisis, but being that the water and all this stuff is, everything's in a turmoil, it's only fair and thoughtful that people would start wearing plastic bags, because they're saying, hey, I'm aware that things, it makes a statement that, you're not using certain furs or certain other products that are used to make clothing, like leather, and there are other items that people make, that people put in clothes these days, tons, and depending on if it's, fake or replica or real, that can kind of alter it as well. So it's pretty much people saying, hey, I can wear what I want to and still be aware. And it also tells people, like, hey, even though we're into fashion, that we're aware of what's going on, in the world around us. So with 20 minutes, this is going really, really quick. This is probably going to head into a part 2. We have head-to-toe neutrals, fishnets, scarf print material, polka dots, but I made my own personal, it's like the dressier version of polka dots, butterfly details, which I know people say, black and white checks, which depending on what part of the country you're from, that's like black and white checkerboard, pale blue, color blocking, crochet, neons, mixed patterns, metallic plaid, one cold shoulder, statement feathers, bright orange, see-through plastic coats, Bermuda shorts, colorful fringe, large square details, hot magenta, zebra print, ruffled blouses, metallic blush, pattern suits, lavender. To me, it just feels like fun. Two-tone maxi dresses, pink plaid blazers, and tie-dye. I'm going to end this call with the tie-dye. Now, I only have 20 minutes. It's not enough time. This is definitely going to go into a part 2, which will lead me to my birthday week. But what we're going to do is discuss first I'm going to get into fishnets. I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. Then I'm going to make some notes, and this is definitely going to be a part 2. I really did not realize how much information I could probably provide in 30 minutes on this, but this is quite the topic. So let's discuss fishnets. Fishnets, I personally wore when I was younger. I was very different with my clothing. I think about 9th grade, 8th grade, I personally wore something very close to fishnets. People are like, why are you wearing that? But see, this is like less than $10 back, back in the day when clothes were cheaper. Clothing prices have, escalated over the years. I wore it with some jeans when I was in high school. It was like a fishnet netted look, and it actually goes great with jeans. And this is almost like a retro look, but it seems, I think it's going to be great. And the fun thing is, hey, and this is a trick. Go on YouTube, do DIY fishnet fashion. You'll find so many cheap ways to add fishnet. You'll be like, oh, why didn't I think about this before? I actually think this is going to be a fun look. I'm personally, without saying too much information, I'll be on the beach a lot in the next couple months. As the year goes on, that's going to be my new thing, going to the beach. So it's going to be perfect when I go on my, vacations to not, have to wear so many layers of clothes. And people say, oh, the traditional colors, white, black. You have so many browns, black. Did I say black already? There's beige, pink. There's so many different ways you can wear fishnet. You can, change it, do the pattern. Of course, being that tie-dye is back, you can do a tie-dye fishnet, which I think would be really crazy, which I personally think, I'm going to make a note of that too. I actually want to personally make something with a tie-dye fishnet. We'll get into that in the next couple of days. Let's make a note of tie-dye fishnet. We'll talk about that at another time. Tie-dye fishnet, tie-dye fishnet. Okay, so this is going actually much faster than I thought. I have so much to talk about. And then next we're going to talk about a scarf print material. Now, I know that sounds expensive, but actually a store that I'm going to I know people say, oh, Brittany, you don't shop at Zara yet. Honestly, when people start talking about Zara before, I was like, ew, Zara. Because everybody on Instagram saying, oh, I have a Zara outfit, I have a Zara outfit. And I don't like wearing clothes that everybody has. So I think I'm going to start, just, peeling through. I won't tell my secrets of how I find clothing because I'm dressed like everybody else. But kind of like picking items and kind of like trying to recreate them. Because honestly, Zara, H&M, and these other places they consider, I don't really consider fast fashion, but some people consider fast fashion. These are places that have the trends that we're all looking for, as a female. So, hey, a lot of these, even though hey, everything's gender neutral. You're in 2019. So if you're a male and you like being darefull, we have to always remember that, 2019, the world is gender neutral. So if you're a male, you want all these trends. I'm a female. I speak on a female's behalf and saying that, hey, I will go to Zara and find a scarf. There are scarf shirts. And I was like, oh, they're very affordable. So I'm going to start investing in them. And I should have gotten them earlier before they hit these websites of, oh, this is a spring trend. This was like winter, summer, many seasons ago, because being that I'm with a fashion degree, I have to keep up with the trends before everybody finds them. This was out many, many months ago, but then for some reason the internet just found it, which I think is really quite interesting. Now, I really want to calm you all down. You can look like you're on the runway, not really, pay too much. Zara is honestly not that expensive. When I was having my moments, too, I believed that Zara was really expensive. But with different, shopping habits, you could really afford to wear Zara and really not, hurt your pocket. Now we have polka dots. It's not the I wore polka dots when I was in high school. It's not the baby polka dot that we all grew up with, the big, big dots. I remember I had a white shirt with some black polka dots. And it was actually, I was way before my time then, but this is more of like what I would call like something you wear to a dinner or somewhere when you go out to an event. I go to so many different types of events when I say dinner, but, I guess I'll maybe, hey, downtown. If you go downtown, not during Super Bowl, but like during, another time of the year, just to go out on the weekend. Sometimes I just go places. I don't post where I go all the time, but sometimes I just go places just to go places. So just to look nice, you put on a nice polka dot outfit. It's super dressy with one of your beautiful fragrances, and you look cute and you go on. But this is not an outfit. It would be kind of darefull, even though it's polka dot and it's a very typical pattern. I can't see myself wearing this maybe to a church or a business meeting or to the other occupations that I have that I won't name or mention right now, because it would just be too much. I mean, it's such a jarring take on the look, the polka dot look. It would be way too much for somebody to deal with. Now, with less than 15 minutes and a little bit over, a couple seconds over 15 minutes, butterfly details. Oh, wow. This is the 90s. I mean, when I was growing up, I loved butterflies. So to me, I'm like, yay, this is something I can personally have fun with. Trust me, I'll go to the beauty supply place and put them in my hair. And then what I would do, which this is a trick, you can go to the beauty supply place, get a butterfly piece that goes on your head and put it on your clothes, $1, and still be on trend. This is what I usually do. I'm very, very cheap. I don't like spending a lot of money on clothes when I don't have to. Of course, my other go-to place, these other stores that I will mention in my area. And I usually go, I wouldn't say it's a bad area, but I go to places where I won't see myself or where I won't find people that I know. Or I try to shop when people are at work. I try to go when I don't. My goal is to not see anybody when I shop, and it never fails. I usually find people when I go shop. When I shop, it's therapy. It's mental therapy. It calms me down for my day. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna notice. I'm gonna recognize somebody because hey, I know a lot of people, not only here but everywhere. So it's kind of hard for me to shop and shop in peace. But when I do, I try to avoid seeing people by going at certain times of day, certain areas, so that I'm avoiding, seeing people that I may recognize, because it's not that I don't want to recognize you. I just want to be able to, shop like anybody else and laugh and look at clothes and, just enjoy. Now, another trend which I thought was interesting, I just want to make sure that everything's okay. Yes, it is, because sometimes the person that works with the radio show, she will actually contact me while I'm on it. So I just want to make sure that everything was A-okay on you all's end. Now, we have, with 14 minutes, a couple extra seconds, we have black and white checks. I thought this was like, black and white checkerboard. I know it's screaming Alice in Wonderland. Very avant. Me, I have a degree in fashion. That's very avant-garde, which, of course, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, and I have a degree. But avant-garde is kind of like more of I would call more of like your Grace Jones, outlandish look. Who would want to wear checkerboard looks outside? I think it's pretty cool. But I would probably do, to hint it, just a T-shirt. But I wouldn't, depending on what region. This is Georgia, and with the crowd I'm in, on the weekends, hey, I wouldn't really care. But like for church, a shirt is fine, a shoe, putting it on your nails. I wouldn't say like a full head-to-toe checkerboard, because people are going to be like, Brittany, what planet have you fallen from? And it would just cause so much attention. And when you're worshiping, you want people to focus on God and not your head-to-toe checkerboard. Now, me, I'd probably wear this every day when I'm not at church. But for a Bible study or a Sunday service, I'd say kind of, tone that down. You have a lot of people who, everybody doesn't go to church, but a lot of my listeners do. So, a lot of people say, checkerboard, yes, it can be worn, but you have to, with any trend, it's not about wearing that one piece head to toe. You find little hints, little spurts, and you kind of incorporate it into your average attire. We have pale blue. Now, pale blue is, I'm like, why pale blue? But it's calming here in the spring, and I'm thinking about it. Think about spring. You want to feel light, like cotton candy. This is what spring is all about, cuteness and Easter bunnies and things like that. So it kind of goes with that Easter, April stuff, the beautiful weather. I pray it's going to be beautiful weather, God, if God says the same, things change. We never know if the weather will be beautiful or not. Color blocking, yes. One of my favorite trends with 12 minutes to go. I want to talk more about this. Color blocking. What can't you not say about color blocking? There are a few things that I get excited about, but color blocking is one of them. You can't go wrong with color blocking. And it's so easy to do. And really, my big thing, and I saw this actually at the thrift store. I should have gotten it. I think it was like $1, maybe 75 cents. And it was a color block jacket. Kind of a different girl HBCU look that everybody's wearing on Facebook right now. I should have gotten it. But it's so easy and cheap. And you can take my idea. Go to the thrift store in your local area. I can't tell you where I go, so I don't want you to shop there. But it's easy to just, $1, again, slip some pants on. I'm trying to, honestly, I have this thing, it's personal, where I'm trying to ease away from jeans because I'm starting to wear them too much, and I want to show diversity in my wardrobe. But, hey, again, the thrift store, you can't go wrong with that. Crochet, yes. I'm running out of time. I'm going to cry. But crochet, yes. There's so many outlets. My love for this trend is going to be, I have a purse addiction. So when I'm thinking crochet, I'm headed right to a purse, right to an accessory. I imagine you'll be seeing, because I have to keep up with every trend, you're probably seeing crochet on shoes, earrings, things of that nature, shirts, pants, But me personally, give me a crochet purse. As literal and boring as it may sound, I'm good to go. And there's so many ways that you can wear a crochet purse. And what I like about this trend is that it can be worn in different facets. Just unlike the checkerboard trend that really would be a little too much for a church service, I could easily wear a crochet purse, put it under the pew in front of me and be okay. You know what I mean? So I think that would be great. Now, I'm going to definitely have to come back to this topic next week. There's so much to elaborate on about these trends. Neons. I love neon. Like, I know I have some neon somewhere. I have everything in my closet. I actually have a retail store amount of clothes, but neon I love. I just adore things that are dareful, the things that, things that are, items or trends that people know. Like, neon has been out for such a long time. Well, so is color. Color blocking has too. As I mentioned before, so is fishnet and polka dot. I think that neon, which is funny, neon can actually be worn different parts of the year. Some say, ooh, neon's only for summer and spring. Me personally, I think that any trend that I'm mentioning right now can be worn in each season. You just have to know how to pair it with something you already have. You got to be careful with neon because you don't want to give that Cyndi Lauper feel off. So make sure that it's the neon for 2019 because what you'll realize is as years progress, the neon tone changes. What I mean by tone is like, okay, like how there are different types of neon. So as you go into a new year, that neon color will switch out. So in order to fully stay on trend, you don't have to spend too much money on it. My only stickler with the neon trend is just making sure that's the 2019 neon and not the 1980 because you don't want, when you go outside, that people think that the song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper is playing behind you, which is actually one of my favorite songs, but that's the conversation for another day. Mixed patterns, which is kind of weird that they would specify this in a different category. We already talked about color blocking. Mixed patterns, hey, I've been doing this for years. I really don't want them to I don't want them to tell you all things that I've been doing for years. I love wearing mismatched clothes. And my family members think that, Brittanee, I literally get corrected saying, Brittanee, is everything okay? Why are you wearing these items? And was something wrong with your shirt, something wrong with your pants? Why are you wearing something that doesn't match? But I keep having to remind people, not matching is a trend. So the more you match, the non-trendy you are. So when you mix and match and change your patterns around, you are making a big difference in your fashion choices because it's easy just to put, it's weird because they say, okay, do all that. I know it's probably confusing to somebody. How can you go all neutral, then next they're saying mixed patterns, next they're saying color blocking? As you can see, fashion is a vegetable soup and a worldwide cultural blend of different types of things that you can do and keep yourself inspired. And, there's not a lot of positive things going on. So I like fashion because you can almost go into your own little happy world without realizing what else is going on in society because there's way too much going on. Another trend that I thought was interesting, the metallic plaid. I looked at this, I said, huh? Now, me personally, I don't know if I'd wear this. I love plaid individually, not as big into metallic unless it's on my nails. I can't see myself wearing metallic plaid. I just think that it would not be, something that you can wear everywhere. I mean, where do you wear metallic plaid to? To me, it's just a little bit, I just can't see myself doing that. Let's check here. I'll get back to that next week, but I have a lot to say about metallic plaid, honestly. I'm going to put a note in that because I really don't see myself wearing that trend. To me, this is a little too much. One cold shoulder in the spring. Here's my thing. Now, this could actually work, but it depends on what region you're in because, certain areas, even in April, the weather can be a little bit weird. So I think, but years ago, if it wasn't a couple months ago, I think people were wearing, shirts half on, half off. I don't know why some of these feel like repeats, but hey, you never know. Now, the statement feathers, which, oh, Lord, this is interesting. I've actually that's what I don't like about trends. And while we're going to discuss trends, this is what we're going to discuss, trends and things that last. Because you have things called I don't like to call them like, there are certain things that you have to keep in your closet, like a nice pair of jeans and a white T-shirt. That's something that you always need, you know what I mean? I feel a good, strong sneaker, and that could be worn any region. I've just realized how, from going to New York a couple months, actually 2 months ago, feels like a couple, but it was actually 2 months ago, a bubble coat is essential. And I know it's kind of weird. I went in Manhattan, because, New York is kind of weird, and Manhattan is kind of its own little vortex of an air. All I saw, I said, where are these people getting so many bubble coats? But I figured, okay, with their weather, and it can go from rainy to cold in like 2 seconds, which I witnessed when I was there. You really can't survive traveling without some kind of a all-weather coat. And what I did not see, which they should have actually in New York, worn more, were ones with hats, like caps, something with hats. Now, these people going all across New York, as weird as that weather is, and they had nothing to protect their heads. I'm like, oh, Jesus, how do they not get cold? So I don't know about the one cold shoulder, again, because from traveling, I don't think that's going to be acceptable everywhere, because any given time, even in Georgia, a cold front can hit. We've had some really weird weather. Some people say it's global warming. There are other, those of us who read a lot have other interpretations, but I don't think I could do one cold shoulder. That would be a little bit too much for me. Statement feathers, yes. I'm actually going back and forth. Oops, sorry, hope I didn't confuse anybody. Statement feathers, I could actually see myself doing that, literally, which is really funny. I have this weird addiction to pins with like details and designs, and I'm actually looking at a bunch of pins with fur, so in like feathers and things. And I have feather jewelry. I love tassels. So I think that would be actually really easy, because I'm literally looking at my collection of pins that I'm really restarting over again. When I travel, I go around all across the country, and I'm always picking up, if it's like an obscure, unusual pin, and I make sure, if it's $1, if it's $2, I try to stay in that $1 mark. If it's over $5, I don't pay that much for pins anyway. But if it's in some kind of feather, something kind of strange, it's really weird. I'm actually riding with a blue feather pin. I'm looking at a pink one, and a purple, and a pink one too. Like I love weird, obscure pins. So I'm actually looking forward to the statement feather trend. It'd be kind of easy because I'm already riding with it. I guess I just add it to my clothes, right? And then bright orange. Now let's see. I don't know. I mean, to me, it just feels like something Big Bird would wear. I mean, some people, something. I'm like, Sometimes I'm like, why? There were 4 minutes and counting to go. Why are some of these trends? Can you see us every day wearing something bright orange? I mean, where do you wear this to? You can't wear it to work. You can't wear it to school. You can't wear it, when you go out to party. We have many, a plethora of other places that we all should be going. But when would you wear a bright orange item? I don't know. I mean, me personally, you have to really want to make a statement, say yes. To me, okay, this would be like a proving point, guess. I keep up with the trends. I'm wearing a bright orange item. I wouldn't even wear that, honestly. You know what I mean? That is what you call a trend, because at the end of the day, no one is going to wear a bright orange item. What you're going to do is, which I've done before, you buy an item, like, why did I wear this? And it doesn't translate to the other season. Or it could come back, buy it early, and it could come back, I feel still. There's some things that I wore 15 years ago I wish I could still fit, because they came back in style. Now, this is actually going a little bit quicker than I thought. See-through plastic coats. Maybe let me just end on this. You know what? Let's just end on see-through plastic coats. And then next week, we'll get into Bermuda shorts, colorful fringe. Yeah, we're at 2 minutes. It's a great way to end it. We're going to end this with 2:53 minutes and counting. Hope you enjoyed the show. Tried to bring something a little bit different to the radio show. Now, with the plastic coat, see-through plastic coats, I actually put, years ago, maybe it was last year, a couple months ago, maybe this winter. I'm sorry, I have a really crazy schedule. It's reminding me that we're at 2:27. Yeah, but it's actually funny that plastic dry cleaning bags are trending, and I actually made a post about that on that checklist that I mentioned earlier. And people, if you just tuned in, people were really confused that people can actually wear plastic bags, and dry cleaning bags